And now, our continuous coverage. As the story behind Forex derivative losses slowly unravels, it seems that neither the banks nor the corporates are in the clear. While corporates may have been foolhardy in entering into complex trades that they did not truly understand, the bankers seem to have skirted regulatory best practices to push these derivative products from their end.
It may be a banker's job to hard sell his bank's products, but are they going too far? As the web of possible losses due to Forex derivative transactions unfolds, a number of questionable banking practices have come to the fore, which could raise questions about the appropriateness of many of these deals. NDTV has learned that banks have been heavily incentivizing clients to sign up for derivative products. In some cases, banks are offering an outright cash incentive, giving clients $50,000 to $100,000 as a sign-on bonus. In others, banks are sponsoring expensive foreign trips for corporate treasury officials as incentive for derivative products. And most importantly, many banks are overlooking stringent document requirements put down by regulators to increase the volume of derivative transactions. While such selling practices are often commonplace in many industries, including mutual funds, in the case of derivatives, they go against regulatory guidelines, since the Code of Conduct clearly states that a bank should refrain from undertaking any transaction where the bank is acting as a formal advisor to the customer while deciding upon the transaction itself.
One will have to see who was really taking the other for the ride. What the RBI regulations do say and what the FIMDA regulations do say is that the banks have to, the onus is on the banks to ensure the appropriateness of the counterparty. And the banks have to check whether the risk policy of the counterparty permits it to do such a thing.
Experts say it's these questionable practices that could expose banks to litigation risk from corporate clients. Apart from litigation risk, the corporate credit risk associated with these Forex exposures is also worrisome. Declining credit quality of corporate clients could mean that banks would have to make higher provisions for potential bad debts. In fact, that's a concern that is already showing up in some statistics offered by India's private sector banks. Axis Bank, for instance, saw nearly 200% rise in provisions in Q3. Kotak Mahindra Bank saw provisions rise nearly 163%. And Yes Bank saw a 60% rise in provisions in the quarter gone by. While banks do not disclose the exact reason for the increase in provisions, some analysts say that part of it may stem from Forex derivative-related losses incurred by corporate clients. But for now, bankers continue to downplay the risk and say that the eventual responsibility lies with the corporates.
This is an area where everybody has to try to understand what is happening and work within limits of what you know. Because this is a new area to most people in India. So I think in that context, a cautionary flag is well warranted.
As the story behind Forex derivative losses slowly unfolds, it seems clear that neither the banks nor the corporates are entirely in the clear. While the corporates may have been foolhardy in entering into complex trades that they did not truly understand, the bankers seem to have skirted regulatory best practices to push volumes and margins at their end. In Mumbai, Ira Dugal for NDTV.